you're motivated by the, like, achieving the goal, you know, like salespeople, I think a lot of your audience.
Yeah, Danny talked about that today, drive.
Yeah, that kind of like thirst to hit it. So help me understand what that feels like, because for me, whenever I get something like that, I'm more motivated by seeing people light up or seeing people satisfied as opposed to like hitting that thing. So if you could talk about like how did you turn that pressure, the closing, into something that motivated you to have fun and go get it, as opposed to someone like me who would be like, oh my God, like, locking up.
Well, it's not that it's not stressful. You know, I want to at least know, and maybe this is it, I want to at least know I gave 100%. I gave the best that I could. And if I ever have a feeling that there's more in the tank, then, you know, that I think that anytime you feel like you could have done more is when you feel probably the worst about yourself.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you constantly, so I've learned really early on like what my threshold is for tolerating like that, and it's really low. So for me, drive comes from, I want to just make sure it's the same. It's just, I've got to go spend the same hour in a day. How did I spend that hour?
Yeah.
Can I look back and say, you know, I gave it 100%, or do I look back and say, yeah, I could have given more? I think that's it for me, at least. You don't want to have the regret. No, I made a decision a long time ago that like, I'd rather, make people uncomfortable, or, you know, I'd rather make the situation uncomfortable rather than live with, you know, I know I could have done slightly more.
Where do you think that comes from? That you talk about like you're not gonna leave room for regret, like you're gonna just give it all. Yeah. Like where did that source come from?
It happened from real life experience. It happened from being in sales and remembering hanging up on phone calls. Where the person, you know, was like, yeah, this is interesting. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Yeah. And finally, you know, I think I had like not closed something enough, and I'm like, forget these people. Yeah. I'm gonna just look, I hear the hesitation, I'm just gonna confront it directly. And so I think it was I just had enough. I had enough of like the hanging up and feeling to myself that, you know, shit, like, oh, why'd you do that? Like I knew, you know, there's times when you know what the right thing to do is, and you still don't do it. You know that you should have done this, you know that, because ignorance is bliss, right? Yeah. But when you're consciously aware of it, you have a choice. You can do something about it, or you can just not. I mean, I don't know. There's probably a type of person who can not do anything about it and not give themselves negative self-talk, but I'm certainly not that person. I remember in basketball, we were doing this game. There's a game we played at the end of practice called Knockout, and it was all the teams, our varsity team, junior varsity, etc. And it was just down to me and this one guy out of like 30 people, and I was exhausted, I was like huffing, like I was just exhausted, and I quit. I was like, dude, I can't. And I literally like took the ball and I threw it. And I'm like, dude. And like, you know, everyone is watching, etc. And I remember my coach going, what the fuck? Did you just quit? And like just running laps. And I, you know, it's interesting. I look back at now and I'm like, fuck him. Like I really was physically, like I was at my end. Like I was gonna have like an asthma attack. I don't have asthma. I was gonna have some type of like hyperventilate. Like I was at that level. But it did instill, you know, again, can you give that like micro percent more? And I think I've got like a healthier boundary with it now, but.
That's the wrong way to approach. But
that's coaching. That's like old. That's like sports coaching. I
feel like that wouldn't fly anymore. Maybe?
No, it still flies.
Really? Homeschooled. I don't know this shit. I'm not ready for it. But cool. Time stamp is gonna be 13 minutes.